Okay, so I'm gonna pull something up here and see what you think
All right.
about this video. Um, let's see. It is so I came across this one the other day, and I don't know. It got me thinking.
Okay, that sounds. Oh
It's called
no.
Terrorism, Tourism, Terrorism.
Okay, sorry. The first thing I'm gonna notice it says podcast, but outside. I'm
That's the
already
name of
offended.
the channel that this came from. Podcast.
Like, no,
but
that's
it's
their
I didn't even
sign
look at that.
there.
Yeah, and their sign too. Wow. Hi, be a guest on our podcast. We'll pay you $1.
Oh, like that's so annoying. Like you're just
sitting outside
forcing everybody.
to
Oh,
listen
great.
to
The other one
your-
said support free speech, so now I'm
your
just an
outro
asshole. I'm who they're fighting against. But like, put some
It's all
goddamn
a setup.
headphones in.
It's all a setup.
I don't
How
wanna
do they
hear
even
your
have them on
garbage.
headphones? Like, I wonder if they're really actually connected out there. These guys can get connected out there and all this shit, and I can't even fucking keep our audio going for 10 minutes. God damn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they
so
look like they really got it together.
they got it. I don't know.
Look at the facial expression on the one guy.
He's
with the sign.
he's the character. This is the guy. I mean, he is a terrorism tourist. So
Okay.
basically, the idea is he likes to go to places where there's tourism. We'll let them tell
Where
you
there's
about
tourism?
it. Or he likes to go to places where there's terrorism,
Right.
in order to save money on travel. Like, seriously.
All right. So far, fucking genius.
Yeah, everybody's out there taking notes, booking planes right now.
Yeah,
Wait a
like-
minute.
Fun. I mean, this sounds kind of macabre, but I like to go to visit a country after a terrorist attack.
Okay.
After a terrorist attack, you know, the horse has already left the barn. It's cheap. And I was in Istanbul after they had that bombing at the airport. So I went there.
Oh
What?
my!
And the bus
I got
was
Jesus
50
Christ.
people. How many people do you think were on the bus?
2.
One.
You.
So I got the whole
You.
He
tour.
got he's like stoked to get a whole bus tour to himself. So
Wow.
he traveled to Istanbul after the bombing. Where else did he go? Let's see.
Why are you
A whole
here?
bus. And I stayed at a $300 a night hotel for $30.
Oh my gosh.
I was in Morocco after they
He went to
chopped off
Morocco?
two girls' heads off.
Jesus.
What?
And I was on this trail, on the same trail that they were on.
So wait, when you read the news of a terrorist,
For everybody who's not watching, the guy who is the terrorism tourist, he looks exactly like you think he would look like.
Yeah.
He looks.
I don't think he's closed his mouth completely this whole time.
He does not have his mask on either. Actually, yeah, they guys do.
Oh,
he is
interesting.
not. I don't know. I wouldn't pick
He's
him for
holding
a
a
traveler.
sign though that says support free speech, which I think also means that he may be an anti-masker.
That
because,
could be.
you
They're
know,
at some kind of rally.
we don't want to
here.
muffle that speech. But
So it looks like there's some kind of rally actually, because in the back, like, there's a lot going on in this.
oh my god,
picture,
you're
like,
right. So yeah, there's
like a
two guys with
rally.
an outside podcast.
But this guy has a mask on in the rally, so it's probably not an anti-mask thing.
No, I think
'cause
it
if
must
otherwise
be
he'd
about free speech.
just strictly free speech.
Or
We
maybe-
can all be in support of that, I guess. You can't, we're comedians, we're just having fun. Oh, Jackie, you were going to do a song for us, weren't you? That's one thing we were going to do. The Matt Buchanan Studio.
Oh,
I can't
yeah.
remember how it goes, but it was something
Jesus
like
Christ Superstar?
that. Oh, yeah, Jesus Christ Superstar.
But I do that on
They
the
made a
last one,
play out
didn't
of
it?
that. I don't remember if we ended up, or maybe it was
Yeah.
a pre-show.
Oh, maybe.
Pre-show. A lot of excitement in pre-com that sometimes people miss out on.
Well, that's for something we're going to add to the intro, correct?
Yeah, that might be happening. Yeah, future Matt.
Yeah.
Plug here. I'm gonna have so much fun watching those and watching me, and I'm gonna be
Talking
sitting
to
alone
yourself?
on my couch doing these probably, or in here in the studio, and I'm gonna laugh to myself because I'm gonna that's me,
So meta.
and then I'm gonna take a video of that happening, and it never ends. I end up in an
Get
entire.
a picture of yourself on your shirt.
Where else did he go?
attack, you're like trying to hit orb.
We all want to know
That was
where
an
else
excellent
did he go.
segue.
He went to Istanbul bombing, Morocco after 2 girls were beheaded.
Right. On the same trail.
Interesting choices.
But you get really good deals, and the security is fantastic.
The security's
I've
fantastic.
gotten flights to Peru, round trip for $280.
And what happened right before that?
Oh, there was probably an earthquake.
There's probably an
So 9/12/2001,
earthquake.
doesn't even
you're on a flight to New York. You're like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
Like, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty brutal, but also he looks so happy. Like, he just looks like
He's living his life.
if
Living the
a
dream.
white
of-
guy can't benefit from terrorism to get cheap flights, then I don't know what
Jackie
kind of
with
world
the
we
hot
live in.
Where, like, is there anywhere you would go after? I was trying to think about this, and I realized there's one place I ended up that I didn't think it wasn't any cheaper or nothing, but I was in Florida maybe like a month after a hurricane,
Oh.
and I didn't really think about it much until like I got there because there was a lot of things that were still damaged, and then everyone was talking about the hurricane, and but I mean, so that was interesting, and I was not in Katrina, I was in New Orleans like maybe a few months or half a year after Katrina.
Oh, wow.
Again, it was like a port where we left for a cruise, a family cruise, but it left out of New Orleans, and we stayed in a supposedly haunted house.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, there's
that'd be
another
fun.
Is This Gay that came out of that. I wasn't even planning on that. But
Our haunted house is gay.
no, it wasn't a haunted house thing. It's just that like the pillow fights that ensued in there. I was a kid. It just seems a bit, looking back on it now that I think about it. So it's just like three brothers.
All right.
Anyway, that has other problems.
Getting
it
more
sounds like.
suspect.
The suspect levels are raising.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, actually, I went to when I went to Venice in Italy. I think it was like maybe a year prior. They had a bunch of flooding where there was like,
so you're just like fucking canaling down the flood.
well, like when I was there, thankfully it was all fine. But there actually were periods of time during the day whenever the tide would be like higher, so it would actually cover like part of the sidewalk.
Oh, fully like it's like encroaching on the
Yeah.
city itself.
Yeah, it's kind of brutal.
I think I've heard that about Venice, right? That apparently like people say in whatever 10 years Venice will be totally underwater or something
Yeah,
like that.
there were a
right?
lot of people actually protesting the big cruise ships that come through, because I guess that it does something like the wake is then like
Oh.
eroding the actual island, so it's like actually like sinking.
Oh wow, I never even considered that. That's some like serious like actual earthly level damage on there.
Yeah, I didn't know that
fortunate.
either before I went.
Meanwhile, I'm the guy who was there for the cruise port. I was on the cruise.
Wow.
I don't remember doing damage to any
You did.
land.
Just know
but
you
we
did.
probably did. I'm a contributor.
You are part of the
Yeah.
problem.
Have you ever been on a cruise? They're kind of crazy.
No, actually.
Very Titanic-like, but even more like intense.
In what way?
Well, they just like make everything extravagant.
Even more intense.
Because it's actually larger than Titanic. Like modern cruise ships are huge, right?
Oh, right, I
In
see what you're
comparison, and they're like
I thought you meant like
they
the
just make
experience.
things like very extravagant on them, and I don't know. It's weird. I was a kid. I think I was 11, 12-ish or something like that when I went. It's the only one I've ever been on. And it
Was it a
like
Disney fucking cruise?
No, it was a Mexican one. So it
Oh.
was like me and your dogs.
Having a fiesta?
Yeah. A Disney one would have been crazy though.
I just
would have
remember
liked that
seeing
kind of
like
shit. That
all
would've
the
been fun.
ads for Disney cruises as a kid, and they just looked so epic.
They have like the giant slides. They play like the movies. They
Yeah, and the
probably
big
even have like
characters.
plays, like live plays.
Oh,
and-
absolutely. They have shows.
Would you
and stuff.
ever be a comic on a cruise ship? Because apparently that's like a thing. Like you
Oh,
basically
yeah.
you get booked and you just perform every night, and you're just doing cruise ships. Would you be into that?
I mean, hey, if I was getting paid and
I guess, right,
consistent
yeah.
shows,
Like-
like that's the kind of a dream.
And everyone who's there is
given
like
where I'm at,
probably trying to laugh, like right? Like they're coming
Probably
out to
trying
the
to
show,
laugh.
have a good time, hopefully.
even if they're not, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're doing shows that often. It'd be kind of fun to like be able to work stuff out, and it's also in a
Yeah.
very contained space too, where it's like never see these people again, probably. Not that
Except for
you
the rest of the week
Oh,
on the ship.
fair.
They fucking you piss somebody off.
Oh yeah, because
You're
wait,
stuck
how
on the
often?
same
Like
ship.
that's true. I guess you just be doing the same.
You
set,
probably would be
potentially.
on like I don't even because like the way most cruises are, say it's like they're like 5 days or 7 or like 10 days or something, and it's like one ship and you're all on that, and the ship will only make port like every 2 or 3 days. It'll stop, and then you can like get off and do, you know, go around the city wherever the boat stops or something.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've never...
It's not the most best way to travel, because it costs you, as an adult at least, because you can't bring liquor, or there's like only specific booze cruises. Like you can't bring alcohol onto them. You have to buy all your liquor there.
Why, it's not like all-inclusive?
Yeah, I think there's like only certain ones you can get that are like all inclusive. Most actually cruises are all inclusive in terms of food and drink and everything, just not alcohol.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there's a lot of sneaky ways to bring in alcohol, I guess. But so I don't know. That would be interesting. I wonder if this guy has ever been on like went to Japan after the tsunami on a cruise, probably, or something like that.
Yeah, hit up Chernobyl.
He probably has a permanent stay there.
Yeah.
His summer home is in Chernobyl, well, it's a city, I guess, right? Wherever that
The
is.
deals are just too good.
That was an incredible Netflix special, Chernobyl. Crazy. More flaccid wieners, though. But
yeah, that was
one episode.
horrifying. I feel like I still think about that show like fairly often.
It was the scenes when they had to go through and kill the dogs. Well, dogs and all the animals, when they're like, we have to, because they're all contaminated. That was rough. Didn't watch those scenes. Just
like it's so horrifying. Just like what happens if you don't?
Yeah,
you know?
they're gonna die anyway.
They
it's
just
a worse
melt,
death. Yeah.
basically. Like, blah.